Hello and welcome everyone. This is Nitesh Mishra from Federation of Indian Export Organizations, popularly known as FIO, India's apex trade promotion organization. And you are listening to the Voice of Exports, India's first exclusive podcast for EXIM community. On this podcast, we bring top performers from the sector who not only inspire but also reinvigorate among you to become one of them. Welcome to another episode of Voice of Exports, India's first export podcast started by FIO for its member exporters. Today in our program, we have Mr. S Santosh Kumar, who is heading a company, ARUNA CO, which is into textiles, home furnishings, and various other products. Welcome, Mr. Santosh Kumar, to our program of Voice of Exports.
Hello, sir.
Sir, to start with, the very first question which I'd like to ask you is please introduce your company and what kind of products do you deal into?
Hello all. My name is Santosh Kumar. I'm the proprietor of the company ARUNA CO. So we are dealing with home furnishings and hotel business. So we are into the manufacturing and supply of mattresses, pillows, cushions, towels, bathrobes, and all. So and also the net lawns and the curtains, like whatever it is required to the home and hotel supply, we are doing a manufacturing as well as the supply.
Talking about your journey in exports, please take us through that.
So after entering into the domestic business, I have some idea to start the export business.
Okay.
I was searching through a lot of modes, like checking with my friends who are staying abroad, checking with the domestic and international inquiries through the inquiry portals like India Mart and all. So I used to register my company details in the internet for looking the buyers. At the time, I got one inquiry through my friend who is in Middle East. So I got the inquiry and I have fulfilled their specification requirement in the textiles like hotel bed sheets, the hospital bed sheets. That was the first order I received from a customer in Middle East. So I just got the order, but I don't know how to process and how to do the packings and how to do invoicing and how to file the shipping bill and I don't know anything about the drawbacks. I don't know anything about ROSCTL and whatever the benefits the government given to the exporters. And I don't know how to get the refund of these GST. Whatever we do exports for the particular products, we have to get a return after submitting the proper documents. So that was the initial challenges. So got the order, but I don't know anything about export at the time when I get my first order. At the time, I'm searching for someone who can guide you properly, do all these documentations, BRC, everything. So at that time, one of my friend who referred, there is an organization in the city called FIO who will help you and guide you on whatever the support you need related to exports, and even origin certificate also. I don't know where to get and all. So after becoming a member into the association and the directors and who is the local coordinator who helped me and guided me properly, and they frequently have some training sessions, whatever the updates and whatever the requirements and whatever the things lively going into the ministry, into the shipping industry and into the markets and the global situation, everything was clearly updated by FIO. So that was very helpful to know about the organization. And apart from that, I do some multiple products, not only the textile products. At the time, I come to know about this multiple product export.
Okay.
If you have a RCMC number, even you can export by using this RCMC number to other countries. So for that, I felt that this is the right association where it will be very helpful for me to grow in wider aspects, not only with a specific particular product.
Okay. Talking about the potential markets for your products, how do you see your product going to do in 2026?
Yes. So normally we are especially into the hotel textiles. So where there is a tourism area. So in that area only lot of properties will be located. So we find we try to find the new buyers in the place where there is a destination for tourism. So that is our targeted market.
Talking about the export journey as a whole, Mr. Santosh Kumar, what kind of learnings did you get in your export journey?
Okay, so first thing I would say, you will earn, apart from Indian currency, you can try to find different currencies. That is the one thing I have seen in the exports.
Okay.
Whenever you do an export to different countries, you will come to know about the different cultures and the different people and the different provisions. So every country is having a different government policies in exports. So you should know all the policies, and whatever the country you are doing in export, you first should know about the policy of the country, whether the particular product is not restricted and it is having the drawback, and it is having any agreements like CEPA agreement and all. So if there is any trade agreement between these countries, then you will definitely get additional discount in doing the imports. So whenever I talk to the buyer, they need the origin certificate. So for what purpose origin certificate is required? So if you are doing some exports to Kuwait or Dubai, you have to attach the origin certificate. That means whenever they do an import, if they are importing some goods from India, they have some relaxation in doing the imports. So whenever I approach to the buyer, I can tell that, see, there is an agreement between your country and my country, so that you will get this much benefit if you buy it from India than China or from Russia. So like that, I can even talk or give little bit educating the buyer to know how the cost matches with China and Russia and all.
Now that you have talked about free trade agreements, I will talk to you now on the current global trends, which is with regard to the trade war or the tariff war, India's FTA with various countries, and the BTA, which we are expecting with US, the trade and global supply chain disruptions. How has it impacted the India's foreign trade sector, especially during 2025, when that year was totally into all these kind of challenges? And how do you see 2026 coming for the overall sector?
Okay, so 2025 is really very hard. The decision taken by the US government, charging the tariff to the Indian imports 50%, it affected the total industry. So now we are into the downtrend, and a lot of companies in Coimbatore, Erode and Karur, they have suffered a lot. But at the same time, when you look at the agreement with the UK, so there is an agreement, trade agreement between India and UK. So there is a new market which is potentially open to the manufacturers. So that if we have a company located in UK, so that maybe the European Union, they will have some other adjustment to import to UK, and they can take it via road to any of the countries of 26 countries. So I feel that anyway, one gate is closed, that is US, and there is a new gate is open, that is UK. So I feel that once the tariff discussion is coming to an end with the USA, and at the same time, the UK trade agreement will also give a next boom in 2026. That is what I believe.
Talking about diversification of exports in different markets apart from our traditional markets of US and UK and EU, how do you see this initiative of the government of India, looking at the challenges ahead of us and the challenges as we are facing now?
The government always try to boost the exports, especially in the last decade. If you look at exports, when you compare before 2014 or 2015, within this last 10 years, we have a very big recognition to the Indian exports. And now we are almost very familiar. Even after Corona, the government gave a lot of help to many countries free of cost. So that should also be considered. So when we try to find new markets, at the same time, government is also doing a lot of agreements with many countries. So the only thing is that the first challenge to a new country is the language. because in most of the countries and many of the buyers are not familiar with English. So they
Okay.
have their own language, they have their cultural language and all. That is one barrier. And there should be a proper guidance that if you are doing some kind of exports, you should have a connective with the local embassy or a consulate general office to a particular country. And another thing is when you are going and focusing on the low level countries or like the next level of countries or the closed transaction currency countries, you definitely need some mode of support from the government. For example, if you are doing some exports to Africa or any Caribbean island countries, for example, Saint Kitts or Barbados, so like that, if you are doing some exports to Caribbean islands, you just get some support from through that consulate office.
You just now talked about diversification of market. What all potential markets do you look at for your sector, and how do you see the sector perform in the coming 5 years from now?
Yes, but we have customers in Maldives and
Okay.
Dubai. So I'm just looking to find some extended markets like Guyana, Barbados,
Okay.
Hawaii, and all these Caribbean islands and South America.
Okay. Are you
Uh,
not looking at Africa also?
no, it is from the beginning. I don't have because the tourism is not well established, and the currency dealing with the people in Africa is totally different than other countries. So that is what I feel because I'm into exports for the past 5 years.
When you talk about the top three things as with regard to ease of doing business, which is needed for your sector, what would you enumerate in terms of numbers one, two, three, which would be good for your sector in ease of doing business?
Because overall exports of India, if you look at the textile, that will be the major portion, right?
Okay.
So the only thing is liners and the availability of containers and the
Okay.
transport, and it should be fixed or it should be constant. And if it is to a certain level, like if it is a container costs 800 USD, a
Okay.
20-foot container from India to Dubai, then it should be consistent all around the year.
Okay.
So there will be a lot of fluctuations, especially in 2023. I struggled like anything. I got a container for $1,250 in 2023.
One very last question. Your key learnings in your overall journey of exports, which you would like to provide to the new and upcoming budding entrepreneurs who would like to come into the field of exports to make themselves successful. What would you like to tell to them?
So first, coming to my export is a very good decision. At the same time, you have to gain the knowledge and
Okay.
you have to be up to date as of today.
Okay.
Okay, because every day the provisions will change. Every day in different country the rule will change.
Okay.
When you do a business or taking the orders to a different country, you should know about the entire thing, like how you're going to give the supply chain, the logistics, and the currency transactions, and the BRC, and everything in and around. You have to gain the knowledge. That is very important when you come to exports. That is one point.
Okay.
And the other point is you have to frequently have to read the newsletter of
Okay.
exports, not only a particular thing. Because why I prefer FIO is the organization which is giving a overview of the complete industry.
Okay.
If you have a RCMC with the FIO, then you obviously do a multiple product export. That license, that number will help you to do the exports. If somebody is asking for some board letter or commodity letter, you can attach FIO, right?
Yeah.
So that is one additional thing. And especially I refer FIO for the budding entrepreneurs because this is the organization which is continuously organizing the events and Zoom meetings, and especially our in-trade bulletins and monthly FIO newsletter, everything related to External Affairs Ministry, Commerce Industry, Finance Ministry, and whatever the update done in RBI and in the customs, everything. Once you go through these two bulletins, you will be having a up-to-date knowledge of exports. So I recommend to the new budding exporters to learn all these things.
Okay.
Support of a RCMC or organization like FIO will help them to know much and learn a lot over a period of time in the exports.
Thank you very much, Mr. Santosh Kumar, for being so candid and insightful in your approach in answering my questions. Thank you.
Voice of Exports podcast by FIO aims to provide important information and views on foreign trade, especially on exports, which will help both Indian exporters and importers. Any statements made by an exporter, importer, or an importing company in this podcast as guests reflect the views and opinions of that individual or the company. This podcast does not constitute an endorsement by the FIO of the individual or the company, his or her or its employer or affiliated entity. The specific information or views provided, resources mentioned, or products or services endorsed or offered by that individual or the company, his or her or its employer or affiliated entity. FIO assumes no responsibility for the accuracy, completeness, or timelines of the information provided by the guest or the company in this podcast, or for the decisions made and reliance on any information provided by the guest or the company in this podcast. We thank you for listening to this episode of Voice of Exports podcast service brought to you by the FIO. For more information on how you can start exporting, please visit our website www.fio.org.